Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of this series, which is From Sandbox to Production, the right ways to deploy your flow. Now, how to deploy our flow, right? You have planned your flow, created tests, set the right permission, given the right user the access to run flows, built your flows to avoid hitting limits, and accounted for potential errors. And of course, you did it all in the sandbox. Now that the flow is ready, it's time to move it to production, right? Now you want to move it to production, but how to deploy your components to production? There are several ways and tools that Salesforce has given us from which you can deploy your components from sandbox to production or from sandbox to another org, which includes Change Sets, Salesforce CLI, migration tools, Salesforce DevOps Center, Workbench, and third-party tools like Gear Sets. Now the choice of deployment tools depends on your experience, your team's capability, your project's complexity, and the level of automation that is desired for your project. It also depends on your role. If you're an admin or a non-developer, then ChangeSet and DevOps Centers or Workbench are a pretty straightforward tools to help you deploy your components. On the other hand, if you're a developer, if you know how you can use the VS Code or how you can use the Salesforce CLI, then Salesforce CLI is a very good option. Git-based tools are a very good options in general to, keep a track of your version and do version control side by side of deploying your changes to the branches and deploying changes to the org. So that totally depends on your capability, your role, and also your project's complexity and your team size, the automation desired, all the things you have to keep in mind when you want to deploy and when you want to choose a deployment method. Of course, you can change the deployment method over time if you feel right now you're comfortable with change set, right now your project is in initial state, or you're in a learning phase, then you can use these straightforward tools like change sets or Workbench or DevOps Center. Future, if you feel that you're more comfortable with Git now, you know how to do version control, or you find it beneficial, that's why you have learned it, that's a very good thing. You can switch it to GitLab or GitHub anytime in the project duration or the process, and you can do the version control as well there, right? In today's video, we will talk about change sets, how we can create change sets, how we can add our components, especially our flows to the change set, and how we can deploy it to production. So there's one more thing to keep in mind that of course for learning purpose we all use developer orgs, right? But to use change set, developer orgs has limitations. Change sets are not available in developer orgs. If you want to use change set and if you want to learn how to use change set, how to create and deploy your components on change set, then you have to register yourself for enterprise, professional, or unlimited edition. These are the edition basically on which we work on when we have a project handy, right? But if you want to learn as well, I will add a link of the enterprise edition or free trial. This is also a free trial, as you can see here, 30 days left to the trial, and you can log into the free trial, you can sign up for that, and then in that you get all the enterprise additional functionality, and change set are part of that, so you can learn change set in the enterprise or professional edition as well. Now here, let's go to setup and let me tell you how we can use change set, what are change set, and how we can add our components to the change set. Okay, now in this setup, in quick find box, just write change set and you will see here we have change set under environments, and then we have inbound and outbound change set. Now what are inbound and outbound change set? If you want to send your changes from a target org to your destination org, you will use outbound change set. On the other hand, if you're on the receiving end, so for example, if I'm sending my changes from sandbox to production, I will create an outbound change set to send my changes to production. Now in production, we will be in the receiving end, so we will not use outbound change set. Instead, the outbound change set that we sent from the sandbox will be visible in the inbound change set section of the production org. Okay, so if you're at the receiving end org, then you will see the changes that needs to be deployed in the inbound change set. And on the other hand, you're on the target org side, then you will create an outbound change set to send your changes to another org, and in our case, it will be production. Okay, now let's click on outbound change set because we are in the position of target org and we need to send our changes to production. We will create an outbound change set. Okay, here is just a simple example of how outbound and inbound change set works. So For example, this is the organization, this is the org that we are in right now, which is our sandbox. Now, if we want to send our changes to the connected organization or to the designated organization, we will use outbound change set here. And on the other hand, if we want to get the changes in our org, we will use inbound change set. Okay, that makes it very clear. Let's create a outbound change set, and I will show you how we can add our flow components in here. Now here, this is the first page you will see when you will click on the outbound change set. Let's click on the new button to create a change set. Okay, let's say first flow deployment. Okay, now this is just for an example, that's why I'm writing first flow deployment, but as a best practice, if you're working on a live project, want to create an outbound change set, the best practice would be to name your change set with the ticket that you are having. So for all the tasks, we get Jira tickets, right? Either Jira tickets or maybe Sfdx or Fresh Service or whatever software they're using to raise a ticket to you or to assign a ticket to you. Just take a reference of that ticket number and the ticket name and add it in the name section. Make sure you don't keep the description empty. Description helps the developer who will check your outbound change set and help the receiving end. So for example, if I'm in the production validation department to validate all the inbound change set, put it to production, I need to have a basic idea of what this change set is about or what component it is having, what changes it is having, right? So with the ticket number, it will be very helpful for the receiving person to have a short description of what this ticket is about and what all components you have added in this change set. So never keep the description empty. We will just add this same description here because this is just a testing change set. Okay, now once you create a change set, it shows you the detail of the change set here, and then here it asks you to add the change set components. If you have added already, this view button will not be grayed out, but because there's no change set component added, the view and add dependencies are grayed out and we have only add button here. Okay, now let's click on the add button. This is the page where we actually add our components to the change set. Now in the component type, you will see we have a lot of options of the components type that we want to upload. Right now we want to upload flows. So let's search for flow and click on flow definition. For flow, we choose flow definition. Now there's no flow, so let me just create a flow very quickly here. Just a testing flow to show you how the flow component will look here. And let's say if it is a record triggered flow. Dismiss account when account record is created, and just update a triggering record saying maybe account description is testing. I'm just using it as a sample flow, no regards to any examples or anything. Update account, you can totally skip this part if you want to, and save this. Update account. Okay, let's save it and activate our flow. Now once it is activated, let's go to our outbound change set again here and click here and add components. Let's search for flow now, and our flow is here. Okay, so all the list of flows that you have in your org which are not already added in the change set will be displayed here. Now you can select the flow. Once selected, click on the add to change set button. Once you click on that button, the component will be added here in the change set component. Now if you want to add any dependency or view any dependency of the change set component, you can click on the component, and if this has any dependency, it will be visible here. But because our flow is independent and it doesn't depend on any other functionality, it shows as blank. Now this is done. For example, let's just say I just have to deploy this flow. Okay, now once you have added your component, here you can see we have an upload button. We have to click on the upload button. Once you click on the upload button, the change set will be moved to or will be sent to the production inbound change set. Okay, let's click on the upload button here. Okay, now once you click on the upload button, if you have added target organizations, for example, if uh, this is our actual project, our production organization will be there, right? Right now, this is just a sample trial org, and I don't have any target organization added. That's why it says that the target organization, this organization isn't authorized to upload changes to other organization. Okay, but if we have any target organization, what happened is there will be a list of organizations shown here. You will select the organization and you will click on the upload button. That's it. That's all for the outbound change set. Once you have uploaded the changes to change set, it will be visible in the receiving or in the inbound change set section. Okay, so that is all I can show you for the outbound change sets. Let's go to the inbound one to show you that how the receiving end will look. Here is the inbound chain set. Now here, of course, because we don't have any inbound chain set, it shows as empty. But if it has inbound chain set, I will show you how this will look and what options you will get. Now, if you will click on the inbound chain set section on the production org, you will see three options in the deployed chain sets. Okay, there will be validate, deploy, and delete. If you want to delete this chain set, if you don't want to validate or deploy the changes into production, or if you know the requirement changes or the user doesn't want it, you can directly delete the chain set. Now comes the deployment part. Before deploying, you have to validate the change to check if there is any issue, there is any error, because in Sandbox, permissions, functionality, user access can be different from what we have in production. We will need to validate the change set before deploying it. Once you validate it and the validation is successful, it asks you to deploy the change set. You click on the deploy button. Once deployed, the change set components will be deployed to your production. That's it. It's alive. But wait, don't just celebrate your deployment, don't just celebrate your change set getting deployed successfully. We have work to do still. Now we need to do some more changes. Okay, first is to activate your flow. So when you deploy your flow from the change set, it gets deployed, but it gets deployed in the deactivated format. The status comes back to deactivated, and once deployed, we have to activate the flow again. Okay, so do that. Second point, make sure you activate the right version of the flow. So what happens is when you deploy your flow using GitLab or GitHub or Salesforce CLI, what happens is we particularly deploy the version of a flow. Now, when we deploy our changes through VS Code, we deploy the XML file and we deploy a particular version of the flow which is activated in our sandbox, right? But when we deploy our changes through ChainSet, it deploy your flow with all the versions. So basically, if my flow has 10 versions of it, it will deploy the flow with the 10 versions. Now what you have to do is you have to make sure that you are activating the flow, but you are activating the correct version or the latest version of the flow to work properly, right? So that's the second point that you have to keep in mind and that you have to check. Now next is, if it is a record trigger flow, then you have to check the flow trigger explorer once to check if the execution and if the numbering of the flows are correct for the before and after save and before and after trigger flow, basically, because there can be a possibility that in Sandbox the flow execution was different because there were multiple flows, and in production we have less flows, we have the flows that we have finalized. So you have to recheck the execution and the numbering of the flow in Flow Trigger Explorer before activating the flow. Now the last one is debug once more. Trust me, this is very, very helpful. Debug once more before you activate your flow and you give it to the user, give it to the public domain that check it is working fine. Just debug it once more, but make sure you debug it in the rollback mode so that no records get affected and no data get hampered by your testing. Okay, that's it. After these steps, you're good to go. Your flow is live. Your flow is live in the production environment, and because you have done the debugging once more in production, you can be confident enough to tell the user that, hey, this is working fine and you can use it, right? That is it for today's example. That is it for today's video. I hope you like it. I hope you learn something new and you learn how you can use ChainSet without using any coding and any CLI to deploy your flows or to deploy any of the components. If you want to try it, I will add the link of the enterprise org sign up below in the description box. Please sign up for the org and try it out by yourself. Thank you so much. I'll see you super soon in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care, and keep learning.